Hi, my name is Nathan, and today we're going to do a comic book review of Echolands Issue number 3, brought to you by RatedComics. Let's get to it. Before I get into this issue, I'm going to look back and see if I had something in my teeth. I felt I did. But what does that have to do with the review? Absolutely nothing. In this issue, we open up with Romulus getting impaled and bleeding out, and we see the hand of the wizard on her blade right there. Romulus is the person that Hope Redhood was looking forward to going to for safe passage in issue number 2. And we begin with this monologue with Romulus. Are you seeking redemption for your half-hearted betrayals or revenge against those who killed your gods? I can't begin to fathom all the reasons you followed me here. Are you hoping to find some powerful weapon to help you wrest forth Rome away from your father? I'm not sure what that means, but it seems like it's a foreshadowing of something that's going to happen in the future. Or are you here for immortality, to have your name sung for eons to come? Or did you just want to impress me? If we survive, maybe I'll ask you why. You'll tell me it doesn't matter and you just want your blood or your sword or for some other nonsense. But we all made sacrifice to save our dumb world, you dumb, beautiful bastard. I'm not sure if this is Hope Redhood's monologue with Romulus here, but now we begin with deep in the ocean. We see the scales and the Sargasso serpent in the water, because in the previous issue that they were getting attacked on the pirate ship when they were running away, Hope, Core, and crew away from the wizard's daughter, Terrell's Desmond's daughter, because Hope stole the gem that could excavate their past. Now we see Rabbit about to be annihilated or mauled or in the mouth of the serpent. He yells out to Hope, "Help me!" So she swims to the giant serpent, climbs up, and the serpent submerges itself underwater because that serpent can hold its breath longer than Hope. At least I'm assuming that. And she busts out like a flare and impales the serpent in its eye. And I could only imagine the painful scream that is being yelled out by the serpent as Hope falls into the water, swims up to shore, gasps for air, and she swims to the shore to land, and she meets Rosa, the vampire. And she's like, "Well, I hope you're alive, because if you are, there's a god and he hates me." And Hope is like, "I'm not alive, I'm just half dead." And the other guy says, "Me too." I totally forgot his name, but you can tell from him holding his midsection that he's injured. And they ask, "Have you found Rabbit?" They're like, "No. What about Core?" And Hope's like, "I'm not worried about Core. 7 of those Sargasso serpents couldn't kill that man. And even if they tried, he'll just end up with the cold." Homeboy with the wounded midsection points. We see Core. Core is at shore, and Core tells Hope, "I tried to save Rabbit. I tried to save him. I'm sorry." You can tell he's like exhausted, but we lost him, and he hands over Rabbit's goggles. Core tells Rabbit, "It's okay. It's not your fault," because Hope feels like it's her fault. Rosa's like, "The hell, it's not her fault. She's the one that stole from the wizard. She got the entire crew slaughtered. You know what? Now we're on Romulus's treasure island, and we should barter with him for safe passage by turning her over to him." And Core is pissed like that, like, "Rosa, don't you make me stake you." And Hope tells him, "Hey, you guys can always swim back to the city." And they're like, "Really? After what's in that water, you think we want to swim back to that city?" This guy is bleeding out, and then wolves are lurking behind in these bushes. They're like, I knew I smelled fresh blood. Let's kill the vampire and eat the bleeder." And the other wolf is like, "Later, we got to bring him to Romulus first." Now we get this globe ball tracking wizard pingy thingy from issue number 2 that's just going around scattering the island trying to find Hope and the Red Hood and the crew. The wizard's daughter and Terra's Desmond, they're having a conversation, and she tells him, hey, they were attacked by the serpent. Their DNA has been scattered all across the ocean. And he's like, "We must find that gem, and we must find that girl." And the daughter is like, "I don't need to be reminded of the gem's importance. The pirate will tell us what we need to know. I will make sure of that." So he comments that her beautiful sculpted mask is ruined, and the sculpted, "It saddens me that it's scarred like this. Let me repair it." So she's like, "Please. All the cracks and scars are proof that I have lived, just like the wrinkles on your own face, father." She didn't say it to condescend him, but she's like, "Man, this is like a battle wound. This is street cred right here in the way." So she tells her, "Let me focus on the task at hand. I promise I will find him. I'll get back that gem." He's like, "Very well. You know, we have a guest attendant and he needs to be attended to." And she's like, "Okay." So she's going to interrogate the guest, and she has this needle going into this gargoyle's eye. I don't remember what issue he was in, but she's interrogating him to find out all about Red Hope. Now on Treasure Island, we see Romulus is sitting at his throne, and he has a decision to make. And this wolf is like, This has been 5 times this month, Romulus. And it turns out we got these 2 people, Torch Grinder and Barnabas. They're arguing about the revenue of the casino and that he's not giving up all the money, because if he gave up all the money, so there's some kind of business deal where all 3 of them are intertwined with one another and they need to work with one another. So Romulus comes up with this conclusion like, your morons are costing me money. Here's what's going to happen. Barnabas, you're going to send your smartest coin counter to that casino and give them a lesson on how to turn a buck. And in exchange, Torch Grinder, you're going to assign some of his strongest men to work security at your whorehouse, because you can't have customers roughing up the ladies. I don't want no more mistakes. And Torch Grinder's like, bro, I ain't got no muscle to spare. And Barnabas is like, and it'll be a hard sell for any of my accountants to do that. And then Romulus executes his authority like, okay, well, you both better find some volunteers, or the next time we meet, it'll be so I can scatter your ashes. So now arms around the shoulders like, okay, we'll find some volunteers. We'll get it straight out. We always work it out, Romulus. And if anything, we'll start letting the crew gamble with gemstones. I know how much you like rubies, boss. And he's like, okay, case closed. Who's next? And the wolf is like, the love of your life, and there goes Redhood. So now we know Redhood and Romulus had history together. And before she begins, she tells Romulus, hey, I was young and just a stupid teenager girl at the time. He was like, well, so was I, but I was a teenager boy. So Redhood tells him we're in some kind of trouble because we're on the wizard shit list, and we're here because our man's wounded. He needs a healer. We need a ship, a sturdy one that lasts, and we can pay. And Romulus is like, what? Hope Redhood giving up coin? That's never happened before. What makes today any different? So she lifts up the gem, or what she stole, and she's like, I'm a work in progress. You can have this, but the wizard wants it, and he'll pay you for it. Maybe Taros will even let you annex the island. It'll be your own little kingdom, just like you always dreamed. So now she's flipping it to like, hey, give us a ship, we'll give you this, he'll pay you, he'll do what you want in exchange for that. Romulus is like, okay, but you will only get this gem after we are aboard our new ship. And he's like, okay, well, I might as well take you down, get you sorted, get your belly full, and we'll fix up the arrangements, you know? So they get escorted into the infirmary by the wolves. They think it's a trap, but you know what? It's not. It's just, we're going to put you there until all this is settled. And, you know, food, ship, payment. You guys are on the way, on the run. And a guy who had a pained midsection, I can't think of his name. He says his guts are burning up and he's gonna lie down. And while they're in the infirmary, it like dispatches itself into the water underneath and away from everything. And we look like we see Taros Desmond's daughter about to land on Treasure Island, and it turns out she is on Treasure Island and she's looking for the gem. And the girl, and Romulus listens to Hope and tells her, hey, the island's free and clear, those are my terms. Annex the island and I'll lead you to Hope and the gem. And she's like, what, you think you can barter? She's like, and he's like, yeah, that's how it works. Your master wants Hope and the Redhood and the crew. I have them. And simple trade's all I ask him for. And she's like, it's all, the gem is all I want. Where is the gem? And Romulus tells her, it's with the girl and her friends are locked 10 fathoms down. If you do not meet my terms, I will send their cell to the ocean floor and you'll never find your trinket. So she's like, all right, I'm not going to play this bull jive game with you. So here's my counter offer. If you don't deliver Hope and the gem, I will sink this city and everyone in it. And he's like, BS. You don't have an army big enough to take us all on. And then her chest opens up, and she opens up her chest, and this egg comes out. She's like, I don't need an army. I am Armageddon. And in the infirmary where they're underneath this ball, underneath the ocean, she does this explosion and incinerates everyone on the island, not including herself because she's magic. Even Hope and crew are underneath this infirmary are like, dude, I think we're totally screwed. And I'm going to leave some meat on the bone in case you guys want to get the comic book, link in description. There are still a couple more pages left, and the cliffhanger here is what actually happened to Rabbit. And when you do see what happened to Rabbit, you will see that how this story is going to continue and how this may play. Now, the artwork is impeccable. Although the lack of answers in this issue, and even though we're issue number 3, and I believe there's going to be 5 issues in total, might be frustrating to some, you know, the art itself is worth it, and it's very entertaining. You'll have a fun read. And when you find out what happened to Rabbit, you will want to pick up issue number 4. With that being said, Echolands, issue number 3. What do you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. And also, if you like the content we're throwing up, you know what to do. Don't be shy, don't be stingy. Here at Rated Comics, we do awesome comic book reviews, comic book related content with the occasional comic book giveaway. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.